Hello everyone and welcome to the ThinkerThemer Game Club. This is the very first episode of a new series called Is It My Turn? In this series we sit down, play board games together with special guests, and casually talk about all kinds of topics at the same time. Today's guests are the amazing Amy and Maggie. From the YouTube channel ThinkerThemer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having us.
I'm very happy to have you as the first guest for the channel.
Very cool to be here. I feel very excited and privileged to be in this amazing studio that you've set up. Yeah, I'm loving your YouTube channel so far.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
So nice to be here with you in Tokyo, as always.
Yeah, I mean, we met at the Tokyo Market last weekend. My voice is going to be a little rough because of that. I was speaking the whole weekend.
Yeah.
You too, as well.
Not as much.
Listening more.
We were more just trying to power walk around and get all the games that we needed to get. So we're always very frantic, so it's nice to be able to actually sit down and play some games.
And you've got a bunch of games.
We got too many games.
Yeah, always. Too many.
No matter how, this year I thought I'm going to be good and I'm only going to get, the best of the best and try and restrict myself, but it's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You get
Too tempting.
Yeah, because it's such an indie market and you often get to meet the designers, and as soon as they're there sharing what they've designed with you, you're just like, yes, one please.
Yeah.
It's very hard not to. They're so passionate about it. So. What do we have here then? What do you bring for us to play today?
Well, we knew that we wanted to have a good chat while we played some games for this first video. And so we brought in 3 games that we think are on the more accessible side of things. Yeah. But 3 brand new games from Tokyo Game Market. I've brought in Ninja Scroll Trick, which is a cute little trick-taking game with a little bit of a surprise scoring twist in it.
Yeah.
We've got Trifle by Sean Ross, which is very exciting. Sai Beppu art.
Beautiful art. Yeah. Another
sweet
trick-taking game, but it's meant to be really, really accessible in terms of this is something that you're meant to be able to play even with younger kids.
Yeah, I see a 7+ tag on it.
Yeah.
Rare,
so which will mean it'll be tricky for us.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make conversation and play at the same time.
I'll probably make mistakes even though it's meant to be played family friendly kind of.
And the third one is a simple game with a complex title.
The longest title, I think.
What is the title, Maggie?
This is the best test. It's adventurers just want to rest in fancy graves.
I think that's the title.
Yes. Rolls of the tongue. Yeah.
It's a push your luck title, and it's by the designer of Nana. So everyone was, that's a favorite to pick up here in Japan. So we thought we'd bring in his new title.
And pixel art. I always enjoy pixel art.
Yeah, so the artist, he's such a sweet guy as well. He works in this pixel art kind of theme stuff, and he came to the booth as well. We were chatting a lot. We met him in other conventions as well.
Amazing.
Great person.
Amazing.
Yeah, so which one are we going to play first? Esper, your choice.
Let's start easy.
Okay.
Let's start easy.
Okay, I warmed up.
Let's warm up.
All right. So Trifle, we're going to be trying to win spoons. So these are the very, very cute, adorable little spoons that we're going to be winning. And look at these gorgeous cards. Very, very simple. All we're going to do you want to put that to the side as well? All we're going to do is we're going to give this a bit of a shuffle. And now we're all going to start with 3 cards. And out of our 3 cards, we're going to play kind of trick-taking rounds. We have a random suit that's going to be the trump, but we don't necessarily have to follow suit. So whoever leads, everyone else can kind of do whatever they want.
Do whatever you want. It's a may follow. It's rare.
Yeah. Because again, it's meant to be played with kids, so you want to keep it simple. The whole thing is, as you're winning tricks, the numbers on the cards that you win, they're going to be your points. So you ultimately want to have the most collected points. Something like this is the highest. They go from, I think, 0 to 5, but there's a queen in there. It's the highest one. It's the most powerful, but it's got 0 points. So it's like, do you want? Yeah. So it's going to be whoever plays. So who baked most recently? Who baked a sweet most recently?
Oh, not me. I'm a terrible baker.
Are you a baker?
I'm not a baker.
It was probably me. I probably did a protein muffin. I'm forever trying to find a healthy version of a muffin. Yeah, and forever failing.
And I don't have a sweet tooth at all, but Maggie will bake and be like, I made it for you. I'm like, you did not make that for me. That is 100% for you.
Plausible deniability. It's just one of those things. All right, so
awesome.
So what we're going to do is, I'll lead, and whoever plays the highest card of the trump, obviously, is going to win the trick. But in the absence of any trumps is whoever plays the highest of the lead suit. So, for example, right now I'm going to lead with the highest of this one. You may follow, so you can play anything else. If you
I will follow because now I know that she is most likely
You're gonna
to
win, yeah.
I'm also
What are you
going
gonna
to
give
play a 0.
Oh, you're going to
so
give her a
therefore,
0.
Nothing.
Great.
Great.
Points.
Starting strong.
I'll be nice to Maggie and give her 1.
One
One
whole
point.
point.
1 point.
Excellent.
You're welcome.
So now, as we do this, we're down to 2 cards. So we replenish. So the winner takes the first card, and we go again. So let's see. Now I will do this.
Nice. I will follow you with another trash card.
So now this is actually now you're trumping.
Yes.
So you will be winning this, which is not
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, you're already getting more points than me.
I'm pretty excited about this. I think I might play this one. No, you're trumping.
Oh,
I play this one.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Nice,
I
nice,
all those
nice.
6 points.
Yeah.
I see a spoon in my future.
Oh, you're gonna get the
Coming my
spoon.
way.
So draw back up.
We're up.
Great.
awesome. And now that we know how to play the game, let's jump into some questions.
Now we try and game and talk at the same time.
Let's see how that works.
Yeah.
My first question for you
Yeah.
is, why do you keep coming back?
To Japan.
Why do you come back to Japan to game market?
Yeah, look, keep coming back to Japan. Like for me, I've traveled to Japan often for my whole life. When I was when I was 10 years old, I was obsessed with Japan. So much so that I went to university and did a degree in Japanese, which now I've completely forgotten. And my dream was to come and work here in Japan, and that it didn't pan out, but we've been coming back as a visitor, frequently. And now now that we got into content creation, Japanese board games, we started playing trick-taking games. This is the mecca of trick-taking games in Japan.
So many designs every year. It's just incredible.
And it's just such a welcoming con as well. It's a real, if you've got that, I love to research and find hidden gems, there's no place better than Tokyo Game Market.
Yeah.
Right? It's finding the game that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Amy introduced me to Japan. So the first time that I came was with you. You'd already been multiple times. But yeah, I just fell in love with the culture, obviously, all of that. I love art. And there's so much incredible and beautiful art. I love cozy things, cutesy things. And this is the land of the cutesy. Yes, evidenced by kawaii. And so, so in Tokyo Game Market, it's the same thing. It's that indie vibe. You just feel like you're walking through an artist market.
Yeah.
And it's just the same, everyone just has their, tiny little stall. They're just sort of sitting there kind of sharing their wares. And it's just so lovely and very hard to resist.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I should play.
I play.
Is it my turn?
See?
Is it my turn?
turn?
Well, you're going to be winning that very likely because that's the trump. So I'm going to give you something low.
I've been wasting my high cards.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay, thanks for that. 0, essentially 0.
Yeah.
Draw back up. How long have you been in Japan, Esper?
I have been here for 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
7 years now. Not that long if you talk to some people.
Yeah.
Very long if you talk to some other people. But I feel long enough to know that a chew is a better.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's a good 5.
I knew this would happen as soon as This is your plan all
Yes.
along.
The conversation gets going. You play a 5, you don't see
Extract the thinker. It's I've never played these games before. Whatever. It's actually been studying before we got here.
No, but I think it's a really interesting topic that you brought. As a fellow designer, being there on the table and having an exhibit in other conventions as well. You walk around the booths and you see the designer pitching you his game.
Yeah.
And they're all there, very, not only passionate, but very, it's very personal. It's very difficult to say no.
It's very, very.
Sometimes I see a beautiful game and I need to go 3 times around because if I stop, I will buy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now that I have exhibited in Essen, I've been to some other conventions as well, it feels it's such a different vibe. It's so much personal, so much more warm in that regard.
Yeah.
That really feels...
I hope that never changes. I know it's becoming more and more popular, but it's still amazing when you're there's a really famous designer and they're just sitting at this tiny booth, waiting for you to buy the next game.
It's waiting.
Just waiting. You're he designed Nokosu Dice.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 of pudding, I guess.
3 pudding.
This may be my one and only chance to get any points.
Well, I'll give
No,
you this.
it's gone. That you're gonna win it then.
Well, I know, but not if you had a better trump. Okay.
I've got that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What's happening, Maggie?
I'm often pretty good with like shedders, but trick taking, Amy always wins.
Yeah.
I feel every time.
And shedding, you always win.
Yeah. Usually at least the first.
Ah.
Finally, some points.
High
I
zero.
get some points. Yay! There you go.
Okay. Almost the end of round 1.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Is
My
it-
turn. Is it my turn? All right, come on. Surely I'm gonna win this.
You're gonna win
This
this.
is the second highest card after the one that's already
Look at that.
You're being saving.
and now definitely not winning this. But we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I will try my best.
Oh, is it the first or second played that wins? Do you know the answer?
Well, no,
Same
this is
number?
the lead suit.
Oh, this is the lead suit.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So it's either lead suit or Trump.
Yes.
Or Trump, I said.
Neither.
Trump
So I have to give you a 4.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, no. I spoke too
Final
soon.
card.
There you go.
Oh.
So that's the lead. So you still win.
I think S was taken.
So now we find a grown-up to tally up the points.
None of those here.
Yeah, that's they're hard to find.
No, I mean, I hate to be the
18.
winner at my own table.
I know.
but,
Invite us around.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you didn't teach, though. So,
Yes.
you know, you can.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you brought the game, so.
Yeah. I've got 14.
I got 18.
I can see you've already got 15 and 5.
Yes.
How much did you get?
I got
than
15, 90, 23,
Yeah,
25,
you got the
27.
spoon.
You
That's
get
your
the
spoon.
spoon. So it's the first person to 2 spoons. 1 spoon for Esper.
There you go. You got the first spoon.
How do you feel? I think I got a hang of the game.
Yeah.
Should we move
Yeah.
to the next
We
one?
can.
we
yeah,
can
some
absolutely move to
question.
the next one. Okay.
Oh, I have a question for you
Trifle.
while we are.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I packed
Set it
this
up.
up. Yeah.
Well, I set up.
So you've come a few times. I think every time someone comes to the friend, their perception changes, right? It's a very common trope that every time you learn something new, you're impressed by different things.
Yeah.
You come to game market now, what? How many times?
I lost track of how many times.
Maybe about 5 times,
5
6 times. Yeah.
What changes? Like, is there anything changed in your perception about the convention, the people?
like to say that
the travel?
We've changed.
Yeah.
In terms of how we approach Tokyo Game Market. The first time we came was pre-content creation, and we were traveling with my family. And we were just like, oh, there's this board game thing on. Let's go. And we just rocked up halfway through the second day or something and just had no idea what we were looking at. You know, just like, whoa, what is this? This is so crazy. Especially because we weren't going to any other conventions.
Yeah.
So it was like, this must be what all board game conventions are like, which is not true. But every time we come, we do learn something new, I think. And, you know, it's still, I've been saying to people that this is the convention that you can plan the most for and still feel completely disorganized.
You're never prepared, no
You're
matter
never
how
prepared.
much
Yeah, no matter
work
how
you
much
do.
you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like maybe 1 year ago or 2 years ago, 2 editions ago maybe, you did the most exciting games on the upcoming game market.
Yes.
And a lot of Japanese content creators, they were very surprised about that. They were like, who are these people? And how do they know us? It was a very interesting like new take, and I think some people have followed that. But I think that is a clear change on how you prepare to it and how you...
Yeah,
It's a lot of work.
I think that was the turning point of really researching the games and the designers' past work, and it is still super challenging. I mean, I think like a lot of people are now using easier ways of translating, so it's becoming a little bit easier, but it's still a long process because the way that the games get announced as well, they just trickle out the information. So you're researching for 2 months and you're like, surely this is all the game. And then another one drops and you're like, what is this one? And then there's still games dropping even after we've done our anticipated video.
Yeah.
So it's chaotic.
There's often not a lot of information about the game. So sometimes you only really have, you may only have like a cover and a couple of lines about what it is, and that's kind of all you have to go by. And so like that makes it probably a bit challenging as well.
There's a lot of deduction as well. I see on your videos, you're like,
It's like,
we believe that this
It's a deduction game, that's right.
there's also no one source of truth with it, so you're kind of having to go through different areas and like get a little bit from the Tokyo Game Market page and a little bit from like other maybe like a blog or like from like social media, and so it's a real
touching,
research project of passion.
love. It's a labor of love. But we had a lot of people come up to us this time, which and for a lot of people, because they're traveling in Japan, if you're an English speaker, and this just happens to be on at the same time and that you're dropping by, like I think the video helps a lot of people kind of shortcut that research, which is
so important.
It's like helpful, and that's what I would have wanted if I was coming for the first time. That's like that's why we do it.
We also had one market that we made every single possible mistake under the sun.
We made video
like all the mistakes that
from waiting in the rain outside.
Being very ill prepared, not having any like other snacks or things to kind of keep you going. And also with the amount of games that we get and buy, is just trying to have it all in a backpack it's a losing. So like now we know we always have a wheelie bag with us to put everything. Otherwise, we're too old for back. We're too old to just like carry everything.
All right, we ready for the next
let's do it.
Okay, so I've dealt you hopefully 7 cards. I was talking ideally.
3, 6, 7. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And so there's a lot of leftover cards here. There are 5 suits, and they do range from 1 to 7. And this is a fairly standard trick-taking game in that you must follow. There is going to be a trump, and the first player is going to decide what the trump is. So the first player is the person who most recently watched something that featured ninjas in it, because I should introduce the game.
Yes.
Ninja scroll trick. Very cute little ninjas here on the front. So who watched something with ninjas? Not me.
It probably won't be me.
It most likely is me.
Yeah. You watch anime?
I watch anime.
Okay. So
There should be something in there.
I think the only ninja related thing was I think we were walking through like one of the temples recently, and like in one of the shops they had like a ninja outfit for kids. Like a
Was there
costume.
like a video presentation
No.
or something?
Yeah,
So then it didn't allow-
nice try, Maggie. Nice try. Maggie's been eliminated for
player elimination.
player elimination.
We didn't know it had player elimination until just then.
Yeah, so the little twist with this game is that when you're receiving or you're winning tricks, the only points you can gain are these scrolls, which we're each going to hide in 3 cards that are going to go face up in front of us. So now what we're going to do is one at a time, starting with the first player, we're going to place a card from our hand down in front of us face up and then put a secret hidden scroll on there. And so these are the points. So you're going to want to try and lose a trick to someone else where you've hidden your -1 so that they get a -1 score, whereas you might want to win the trick for the +3 so that you get that as points.
Got it.
That makes sense. So you are going to be choosing the
I will choose the lead trick to the trump to be
okay. Oh, the
Four.
little piggies.
piggies.
Ah, yeah, because they're different animals.
Fruta.
And I will start by playing a 3 of pig. And I'm going to secretly choose
Yeah, secretly choose.
In stealthy ninja.
in stealth ninja style.
Good fashion.
I will put a scroll on
Very
the
good.
piggy.
Very good.
Okay. I am also going to put a...
I wonder what that is going to be.
It's the +3.
Clearly the +3.
It's the trump, though.
It is.
You don't know.
Yeah,
never know.
I feel like you have high hopes that that's going to be the winning card. But
I'm going to play a 5 of monkey. And I'm going to place a scroll on the 5 of monkey.
Okay. Then play 7 of, what is this, a cat? Nickel?
Cat.
yeah, it looks like a nickel. Let's do a 1. And let's do that.
Awesome. And I'm going to finally play a 6 of pig.
6 pig.
And I'm going to put a scroll on that pig.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Oh, that's pretty high trump.
Is that a bait? It could be a bait.
It
could be a bait.
It could be. Okay, I'm going to put the little bunny rabbit out. Oh, that art is so cute.
It's so
Yes.
cute. It's pretty cute. I
love-
almost, it's like, I hate that we have
You
to
have to
cut
cover
it.
it
I
in
guess you don't
space.
have to. You could put it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to put that one there and see what happens.
All right.
You know, some people don't like this, but I do enjoy it a lot. Whenever there's a theme to the game,
Yeah.
then I'm going to play a 6 of pig.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like-
I'm like my 6 little piggies.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so
Okay,
you
so
are
I
the
will
first player,
start.
and you can play cards from in front of you or from your hand. They're all essentially your hand.
I will play a 1 of rabbit.
Hey, what a rabbit. I have to follow rabbit. I could play this rabbit now. I forgot what I put there.
Are you allowed to check your own?
Luckily.
That would be funny if you.
That would be a good memory game.
Instant karma. Yeah.
There's so many cards out of the deck as well that I have no idea if the 7 is in play. So we're about to find out.
I'll just play that.
Okay, so I will take this 1 point, and as these get discarded, we don't need to keep track of the number of tricks.
Yeah, it's just the points and the scrolls.
Yeah,
That's it.
and then I will lead. I'm not liking the look of that, Maggie. Just don't think I'll play that. Let's see. Maybe I'll just get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Give Maggie something good. Give Maggie some
Which one had? Let's have this reveal.
Well, well, you've net 1 point.
Yeah.
So.
At least it's positive. Interesting. I feel like that's already out. So maybe, but then that's going to give me that. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. There we go. I'll put that one. A little 6 of, what is the swirl?
What is the swirl? It is the monkey.
It's the monkey, but
Is it?
Why is it a swirl?
Why is it a swirl?
Here you go. Here's my 3 of monkey.
Okay.
You had one in your hand. I thought I was maybe going to get that.
Oh, yeah, you wish.
5 for the other.
Well, I just need to get rid of something. What have you got? Interesting. Okay.
Okay, so nothing. I win that, but I get no scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
No scrolls. Let's do that. See what happens.
Oh. I'm going to play then a 3 of what Nicola.
Yeah, like cat.
Of cat.
You don't have any pets here in Japan?
I do not.
No.
Having pets in Japan is such a hard task.
Yeah.
Because renting spaces here that allow pets
Yeah.
It's tricky.
is tricky.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
Oh, you gave me a plus
Yeah.
1 on a
Yeah,
what?
plus
That
one.
is a surprise and delight.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, we're going to lead here. I might play this one.
I don't have anything else.
Oh, sweetie.
You can have that.
What did you get? What did you get?
This one and a line.
Oh,
That 0. That was good. You had a good round with that one.
yeah.
I will start with my 5 of monkey.
Okay. Putting that.
There's nothing else really. Oh, but yeah, you can.
At least I got my plus 3.
Yeah, that was good. That worked out. And there's no more. So there you go.
Yeah.
So I ended up at plus 1.
Okay.
Nice.
Plus 1.
You ended up at 3.
And I
5.
am on 5.
Here you go.
So we
You
keep
took
the
it.
score.
Well, yeah, we keep this score, and now we're going to draw the next scrolls from here, and there are some wild scores in here. So there is even like a plus 10, there's plus 7, so you can definitely catch up. And now because I'm in the lead, I have a bit of a penalty. In the second round, I have to reveal one of my scrolls to you, so it's going to be public information.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to keep going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it. That's the juicy part of the game. I want to see what the
Well, you can
the
draw
new
your
scrolls
3
are going
if you
to be.
like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, we should have kept track of who won the last one. Would they technically lead the next
No,
trick?
Emily.
Who decides the trump, or is that trump set for the whole game?
Oh, no, I will decide the next trump.
As you give us the new cards, I'm going to have another question for you.
Okay. Sure.
Kind of follow up to what we were discussing before.
Yeah.
The research that you guys were doing, everything that you're trying to prepare for game market, how do you think Japanese creators can improve to help you and everyone else
mean like
try
designers?
to become
Yeah.
designers
Yeah,
and publishers?
Yeah.
How can they get information out there in a more clear way? Is it an English problem? Is it how they put the information out there? Should they have a website when they don't? What do you think it's missing?
Yeah, I think like a lot of the information is coming from X, or Twitter.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of English speakers use it as much as in Japan. Like it's very popular in Japan, and so I think if you're not using that platform, it's very difficult to find information. The only reason I'm on there is literally to find out information for this con. So that makes it pretty challenging, I think, just with the updates and things. So maybe other social media channels Of course, English rules, but I do feel like actually that's improving really like a lot over time. And maybe again, because there's more like AI translation features that people are using for their rule books and things. So that is getting better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard because it's like, you know, wanting to retain the qualities of like it being authentically Japanese while making it easier as well as a visitor to come and visit. I still think the game market itself is a little challenging to navigate how to get tickets and like the information could be a little bit stronger. But from a designer and publisher perspective, I think it's just like any websites you can send people to, any English rule books, and then the social media thing is a little bit hard if you're not using Japanese Twitter, which
Yeah. For me, I think just having any image of what the game looks like. So either, you know, what are the cards or what does it look like kind of on the table? One gives you a bit of an idea to begin with. And then even if you don't have the full rules obviously really help because then that's how you get the full idea of like, oh, okay, this is how it all comes together. And again, even if it's not in English, like you can use like Google Translate or whatever to get a better idea. But even just having like, what are the key mechanics? So it's like in this game, you're going to be using this to do this and that. And so it's like, oh, okay, that again helps you go, oh, okay, I get a bit of a sense. Otherwise, it's a guessing game. And sometimes, it's like if you go to a page or like, for example, if you take the link and it just sort of takes you to another thing that just has the cover and like coming soon, it's like, there's no way to then know what it's about, and that by itself is often not enough to, unless you know the designer or you know like what they've done before. It's very little to kind of get you excited to look at more, or definitely like reserving it or anything in advance.
I feel like might be a little bit my perspective as well. I feel there's a fear of content creation in a regard, like that the quality is not going to be good enough, that no one's going to be interested in anything like that. But sometimes just having a camera, a cell phone camera pointed at the table and people playing, it's more than enough for people like you to get a sense of the game and feel what it is.
Even if it's not video, like even just having a photo of like, this is what the table presence of it looks like. And it doesn't have to be like really fancy. It can really just be like, this is what the cards look like. And yeah, like that helps so much. Yeah.
Feels like a new.
Okay, so you're choosing the trunk?
Yes, I am. I think I'm going to make it the bunny rabbits.
Bunny rabbits. Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
Okay. I should have probably looked at what I've got under here.
Yeah. The scrolls.
There's some interesting things going on here.
Yeah.
Okay, what have I done? Okay.
Rabbits.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, God.
Committed. What have you got? Like -10?
And I just have like a 3 of rabbit here. And I'm going to put this scroll in it. Holy.
Okay. That's the little cat.
Oh, wow. A 7 of red. What you gave her? I'm going to put a 7 of cat in here.
Okay.
So we got all the bunnies going.
Okay.
And now it's the panda suit.
Panda suit.
6 panda.
I'm going to play a 4 of monkey here with this scroll.
Okay, and now because I'm coming first, I have to reveal one of these. So
tell us.
I might show you what is here.
Wow.
Juicy.
That is juicy.
But
It's a
then
good monkey.
I'm going to lead with this monkey.
Gonna lead with that one. And I'm going to give you maybe this. I can't even remember what I put there. Just do that.
Oh, no monkeys.
No monkeys for me.
Damn it. I'm going to give this 4.
What was that? What was that?
And it's a -3. I'm so ready to trick anyone.
You monkeyed yourself.
Yeah, there you go.
Damn it. I'm going to start with a 7.
That's what the swirl is. It just spun around.
At least I have the starting.
Oh, this is...
Ooh.
Hear that?
I haven't thought things through.
Okay, what do I have here? I have a +10. +7.
Oh, -5. Oh, she got you. Stinging the tail there.
Oh, but that was
Wah, wah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Now I need a grown-up to help me here.
Yeah, to help you count. Yeah. But what's the count? They're hard to come by.
Yeah.
Grown-ups, I can help you count.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know if I trust these ones. And right now I can't follow.
That is
So-
very ninja.
Oh, yeah.
Cats, no monkeys.
Yeah, so maybe I will just... Oh, but was that good? Like, I wonder if it was good. Was it
I'm gonna
terrible?
win with that one cat.
It could be anything. It could be anything. I don't know. Maybe I don't want the risk. I'm just gonna take. I'm just gonna take my own +5 and just leave that.
No,
be.
but I started with the...
Yeah, but that's the trump. That's the trump. Yeah, because I couldn't follow.
Sorry.
Okay, so now let's have a look, and I'm just going to stay out of the way. Oh, let's do. No, I don't want that. Do I want that? I can't remember if I want it.
You can look. Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Do I want it?
I will.
What did I have?
I will let you take it
Oh.
if it's up to me.
Okay. That's good.
What do you got? Oh, +5. Okay.
I'm just taking my own scrolls.
Yeah.
Taking my own scrolls, staying out of the
Don't want to deal
way.
with other people's
I don't want to deal. Yeah. I'm just
surprise.
staying out of the way. Okay, so you're taking that? Nothing? But now you lead. Yes. I got nothing.
I have to follow.
Yes. What did you give me? What did you give me?
What was it? What was it?
Oh,
That's what you were saying.
Coulda, shoulda. That's
did
nice.
Here's my surprise one.
Nothing. So
Hey.
you take it. Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Now you definitely
wow.
have
Yeah.
way more
The
than me.
points there. It's
you
a third and final round. What would happen is the person who is leading me, I would have to reveal 2 scrolls.
I see.
And the person who's coming second, Esper, sorry,
That's okay.
I would have to reveal 1. So that would be the final round.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe we can move to the next one.
Yeah.
Let's do the
Yeah.
final one.
Well, this kind of like chaotic aspect of it at the second round.
Yeah.
So good because I think the first round it gives you learn.
Yeah.
Settle
Yeah.
down, and then come the chaos.
Yeah.
I like games like that.
Yeah.
Like they don't show the chaos right at the start.
Yeah.
They ease you in.
It's tame,
Yes.
tame chaos.
I really like this one too. It's like, it's not hard to learn. It's a bit chaotic, so you can't fully plan, but, that's fun.
Yeah, nice.
Start setting up the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as we set up, I have some more questions. for you.
Excellent. Yeah.
Now, this question is a little bit more abstract.
Okay.
Kind of like, how much does, like, when you go, you've been to calls already several times. How much does your content creation leads your buying purchases, what do you find interesting, how much of it is personal? Is there a balance that shifted after you guys started doing, because your content creation came, I think from my understanding, it grew together with your hobby.
Yes. Correct.
So there was no like before and after, kind of everything kind of came together. Correct.
Yeah.
But nowadays, how do you feel about? Do you think there's a lot of things that you buy? I know we need to make content about that because it's like visually interesting.
Sure.
But it's not necessarily what I would play.
I think not as much anymore.
No.
I think that has changed over time.
Yeah.
I think when you start out and you're wanting to grow the channel and, there's a lot of people have different tastes in board games. And I think now we're very certain about, because we were growing with the channel, as you said, we were getting more focused on what we liked. I think we were trying to navigate what we liked as well. So it wasn't that we were doing content for someone else, but it was the case that we were trying to do everything. And that at some points got a little bit overwhelming because then you're, as the content creation grows, you've got publishers who sending you games and you kind of get a bit overwhelmed, and then you realize you end up playing games that you're not that into.
Yeah, it's like, this is not really my type of game.
And it might be for someone else. Like it might be a
absolutely.
perfectly good game for someone else. But I think we've become a lot more selective in what we cover because we have full-time jobs. This is not our job. And so it has to be fun. Otherwise, what's the point of it all? And I think that reads on camera as well. If you're having a good time, like that comes through authentically.
If you're excited about something and you want to share it, like the energy that you put into that, it's like people kind of literally feel that. So if you're covering a game that you're like, look, it's not my thing, it's like that's the experience that the viewers have.
There are people who are interested in seeing negativity on screen, and it's a thing.
Yeah, it is.
But I understand that it doesn't seem to be your. From everything that I've been seeing lately from your content.
Yes, I think because we're very selective, so we're only choosing to feature games that we've enjoyed already or we think we might enjoy, rather than the things that we just know are not for us, because that it just doesn't translate on camera. And I think I'm not sure.
Oh, we have that 10 out of 10 series where we rate 10 games out of our collection out of 10. And in that one is probably where you will see more of the not so positive reviews, like the stuff that's like, this is stuff that we've been playing, that again, like we got it thinking, like we never get a game that we're like, we're absolutely not going to like this, but let's play it anyway. Like it's usually like, so it's like all of the games that kind of go through that are things that like, we really had high hopes with, but for whatever reason didn't quite hit. And so those are where you'll see the more, not so much negative, but the ones that are not like
didn't meet what you were expecting.
Usually if we're like super excited about something, sometimes it'll get its own video, or sometimes it's like it'll get its own series. So or it'll end up in obviously the top of the list, like the top 10 of the year or things like that. But I think also one of the things that happened with content creation is then when we started doing content, the rate at which we would play games increased so much. Like we were playing so many more games that it was like hyper exposure. And so I think it does also like change your perception of games, because it's like all of a sudden you're playing so many games that you're like, I now really appreciate a lighter game. Like when we started the hobby, it's like getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And then you play so many heavy that you're like, now they're starting to blend into one, and I would really like a bit of a palate cleanser in between. And you're like, that was delightful. That was so fun and
you're
clever.
teaching, like you teach a lot as well when you're in content creation, or even if you're publishing and making games. I'm sure you're always sharing games with other people and teaching. And so it's nice to have something that's accessible as well. So probably we have lent a little bit lighter on our channel, because not everybody's coming into the hobby wanting it to be 1,000 games behind you in the background. They just want to have a nice game they can play with their family.
Absolutely. No, I feel the shift in some of the creators appreciating more the smaller games. And as a designer myself, it feels like making lighter games are lesser art. But as I try to design lesser games, it's so fucking hard.
It's hard to be simple.
Because of big games, you miss the balance here and there. There's some things that no one notices because it gets diluted in the big rules. But in small games, if you put one card that is wrong, one token that is off, everyone will notice. I become really appreciative of like the designers behind this game.
It's its own art form, like creating something that's small, simple, but really elegant and effective at what it tries to do. All right.
Talking about small games now?
So this one, now what's the name? It's Adventurers Just Want to Rest in Fancy Graves?
Yes, I think that is.
I think that is
it's like Isekai.
So rolls off the tongue.
So this is kind of inspired by like dungeon crawling, and we're essentially going to be going through pushing our luck a little bit. And on our turn, we're going to be drawing 3 cards, either from the top or the bottom of the deck. So it's your choice. And then when you draw those 3 cards, you will pick. So these are the monsters that you're going to be encountering. And you'll pick one of those 3 monsters to keep. And so if I keep this one, then I'll decide to put one either for these ones to go either back on the top or the bottom. And they could be one on the top and one on the bottom. Or I could decide to put top and top. You don't get to see what those ones are. And all I'm trying to do is like you would either, the 2 ways of making points or getting points is if I'm exploring, which is doing this action, you're going to be getting points by the monsters that you're kind of accumulating, but you're also going to be taking damage. So at the end of an explore phase, I would check if I've been knocked out. You're knocked out if your damage totals 5 or more. Right now I'm at 1 and 2 points, so I'm good. We keep going. So then the next player goes. If at the end of the check, say, I had kind of gone to this point, and now it's like, oh no, now I've busted. You essentially are now resting. So you're essentially now you've knocked out, and you're now going to become the dungeons at will. So as soon as you're knocked out, the first person to get knocked out, you also get glory for dying, helping, trying to kill all these monsters.
Knocked out.
Yeah. Get knocked out. Yeah, you're not fully dead. Well, actually, you're knocked out in a grave.
You're knocked out in a grave. Yeah.
You're not. We are resting. Like, yeah.
That's
So you would get the highest value of the graves that are available. But then these cards, because I got knocked out, these monsters for some reason they go back in here, so they get kind of reshuffled back into the deck.
Yeah.
But now it have 9 points.
You've got the fanciest gold.
I got the fanciest
grave. And this one is a rock with a flower on it.
Yeah, there were too many graves done.
Too many times already.
So the so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing until we've all either decided to stay. So essentially, at the start of your turn, you could decide, actually, I'm no longer going to be exploring. I'm going to be, I'm done.
Ooh,
look at that. The dragon is 10 points, but that's, so there are some cards. This is a certain distribution. There are some potion cards that will actually, where are they? They have like
give you negative damage.
damage.
They heal you.
Exactly. They're healing.
Potions.
So
you need to acquire them before the big one comes.
Yes.
Otherwise, you cannot.
It's too much. You're overwhelmed.
KO.
The other
Knocked out into a grave.
Yeah. Also known as knocked out into a grave. Knocked down for good.
Yeah, knocked out of life.
Yeah. So the other thing that will happen is that as soon as someone is out, they're still kind of in the game, because as the other players that are still in happen, like if say I was knocked out, I'm in my golden grave. When it comes to my turn, I will pick one card or from the top or bottom, and I will get to gift that to someone who's still in the game. So in this case, it's actually really good.
Gift.
Yeah. But sometimes it can be really nasty and can then cause
what you
knockout.
want is to give bad cards so that
Correct.
they.
Yeah.
All
So, all right. So we're ready to play.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. So let's get started. So, who was the last person to go in a dungeon
Graveyard.
or a cemetery? Actually, I need to double check what the official one is.
I mean, there is a cemetery right next door to where
We haven't seen it yet. So it's probably
I take my baby there quite often to take to some bath.
It's like sitting aside.
Very green kind of.
Peaceful. Watch a ninja show. Hang on, it's like every first player that you've done recently.
bake a cookie.
Bake a cookie.
All right, so you get to pick
Baking cookies.
either the top three or the bottom three. So then
You cannot choose top and
No, so the 3 from the top, 3 from the bottom, and then out of those 3, you will keep one that you'll play face up in front of you, and the other 2 you put back in the deck one at a time, and they can
I
go
will
either on the
keep
top
a
or the
very
bottom.
nice treasure.
Oh, that's
a
good.
Foil
0
treasure.
or 8, yeah.
Shiny foil.
Good.
Shiny foil as my starting
And then
card.
you're putting them both at the bottom. Yeah.
both at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. Why? Were they also shiny? Tell me. Are they also going to read your poker face?
Maybe I'm trying to blush the bottom.
I'm going to see what your poker face entails. I'm going to
Get an idea.
Take them from the bottom.
What was that?
Oh, okay.
Now I want to know.
You don't get to know.
Feel like I'm
Now we're all
missing
going
out.
to be drawing them from the bottom just to keep checking out each other.
Got the
Impressions
FOMO
were-
now.
Interesting. I'm going to get this
Wow.
silver coin, and I'm going to put these on top.
Oh, and she knows me very well. So but now I got the FOMO. I need to take
You
those
need to
3
throw
and
those
see
on.
what was it.
Who's passing the
What
same
was
ones
it?
around.
Okay. All right. This is not bad. I'm gonna take the fortune rabbit. So it's 2 damage, but I've got some points
wow,
there.
good
And then I'm
points.
gonna put I'll put this one up here.
Fortune rabbit in the dungeon was something I was not expecting.
Well, it doesn't look very fortunate. It looks like it's just slipped on like either going down a
Maybe it's
hole.
fortunate for you because it is sleeping in that.
It
and
made
got
you
that.
aware of the hole in front of you, going, "Oh no, the fortune rabbit is going down the hole."
It's like slipped and hit you and just like
Yeah.
was only 2 points of damage.
Yeah. So obviously,
I'm
still,
pretty sure there's a lot of like Easter eggs that we don't know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So actually, before
Sorry.
you go exploring, you could decide to rest and then
Okay.
just bank that. But obviously, at the moment, it's just 3 points.
Yeah,
so
so I will
do
keep
it.
exploring. I have a bag full of gold coins at the
just
moment.
take the coin and run. Yeah.
Oh wow!
But the first person to bust is going to get 9 points.
That's
right?
pretty good.
Which is pretty good.
yeah.
I mean, you've got to push your luck a little
Sometimes you just want that glory. You
Yeah, you
go
just want
out
to
in a
die
blaze
fast,
of-
fight the dragon.
Get knocked
Knocked
out in
out.
a blaze
Yeah.
of glory. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep hoarding treasure.
Oh, okay, that's
Another
great.
one.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty, like, I'm feeling lucky in this danger, and so far, no danger. I'm gonna put this two. One
Two
on
in
the
the
bottom,
bottom.
one on the top.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
it's gonna
Well,
happen.
you did that blind, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just gonna take.
Maybe they were the same kind.
Oh,
What is it?
very
What is it?
interesting. I'm just gonna take this little copper coin. I'm just a coin collector.
wow.
Silver coin, copper
You're the only one
coin.
fighting monsters here. We're not getting blood.
Yeah, it's like these people just came here to like steal all the
loot.
coin. Yeah, just the looting.
Give me little coins. Slowly. Conservative.
Let's see. Oh, okay. This is interesting. I have the choice. Maybe I will go in a blaze of glory.
wow.
So
Whoa.
I'll take the orc. I'll put these ones staying the
So
same.
you just.
But this is going to get shuffled in. Yeah, so this will knock me out. So after the dealing with the fortune rabbit and dealing with the orc, I'm out.
I'm out.
So because I'm out, then I will take the first grave, but then these will get reshuffled back in. And now it means that every time it comes back to me, I draw one card only, and I allocate
So
it
you're-
to one of these
Sounds like trouble.
thieves,
you're
these
winning
dungeon
from
thieves
the-
that are just like running around.
You're waiting from the beyond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay. Well, we need to be. We need to reach 9.
Yeah. And we would play 2 rounds usually. So we would we'd use these coins to track then the points that we're collecting each round.
I'm being pretty lucky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get another shiny treasure.
What is going on?
My goodness.
What is happening?
I'm gonna put this one on
this
top
one.
and this one in the bottom.
Invite us over.
I
Win all the games.
didn't shuffle. It's on camera. Everyone.
That's pretty good. It's already at 8.
That's how I made it.
At
So.
zeros.
I need to
Zero
find something
damage.
to bust it.
Yeah, I know there's a
Already.
public enemy number 1 now.
Oh,
And this is interesting because I can only draw one card. So technically, Amy could strategically put something that may bust. I'm just sort of speaking.
No, you
Like
are
at
now
the
working
top.
together against me.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll be doing the same when it
I
comes
got
to
the
you.
fortune rabbit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You put them both at the top. Will I go top or bottom? I'll actually go from the bottom. Ooh, okay.
What's that?
So that would be
rabbit.
that's quite a lot of points. Maybe I'll go over here. 4, 5,
I
6,
have had no
7.
damage.
Six, seven, eight.
I've
Oh.
had 2 damage.
It's already got 8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's not a lot of damage.
No
But
damage.
then, like if I give you this, you could just rest. Like now because it's
True.
going to be his turn, so he could just rest. So it's
True.
going over there.
Okay, that's fair.
There you go.
I guess that's fair.
Oh.
So you could rest.
Interesting
At the start of
decisions
your
at the
turn.
moment. Huh? It's 5, right?
5, yeah, 5 or more. Did you get 3 5s? 5, 5, 5.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna get a rabbit. You didn't give me a rabbit, but I found myself a rabbit.
Oh,
They're plentiful.
She's
It
gonna
looks
bust
like. Let's see. What
Now
is the deal with
this is
fortune
a
rabbits?
very important choice right now.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. Yeah, they're fairly plentiful. The copper coins, there's actually a lot more coins than there are rabbits.
I'm gonna
Slimes.
put 1 in the bottom and 1 in the top.
Okay.
Blindly.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Finally. Well, that's going to be
So,
for
do you want
because
to-
I'm resting.
Are you
I'm resting. I'm on 11.
Oh, that's pretty good. So, okay. So,
I forgot about
Yeah, so
that.
you're going to eat one of those.
which one did you put? Which one did you put? What's it feel like? What does this feel like? Does this feel like a dragon? Oh,
Not KO.
no! Not KO. All right.
So
So
you are pretty.
here's your. This still
Great.
pretty nice grave.
Decent,
It's still
I
a
guess.
nice grave. All right. So that's the end of that. So we would have, 9
we take
points,
points?
7 points,
11 points.
and then
Very
so we would
nice.
play
Queen of the
one more
dungeon.
round essentially to then see what happens. So do you want to do another round?
Let's do another
Yeah.
round.
All right. So we reset.
You
these
want to have a
ones.
comeback? You'll only call it when you're
yeah.
winning. Is that it? You're like, and now I'm
I still have so many questions for you. We're forgetting the
7, and I had 9. So there.
Before we start the next round,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. What do you think people don't understand or realize about content creation? Because I think a lot of people think that
Yeah.
it's a very prestigious place to be because you're getting free games.
yeah.
You're getting free games,
you
you're getting
earn them, you earn
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of hours you put behind this.
yeah.
It's
I think that's still the main thing is the tenacity that is required.
really have to have a lot of endurance.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you have to have a reason for doing it that isn't free games or like becoming famous or whatever you think going in is very. I think it's very different. We've been doing it for 6 years, and you have to have. I think we started it as well because obviously we're gay as well, and there weren't a lot of women or queer people in on the scene, and so. That was like a real driving motivation for us when we began, and it's still really important to us now. And I think that just having your North Star of like, what is this about and what kind of community am I trying to attract? And then I think focus on that rather than, the growing the numbers. I think people get caught up in the numbers, especially. Yeah. Like I have this many viewers or this, and, at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean that much.
Yeah.
You first and foremost, you've got to be happy doing it. And it is a lot of hours of work behind the scenes. So there has to be something meaningful behind it.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is like people often don't realize how much work goes into it. And so the amount of time and energy that it takes, very quickly, the allure of the free games, it's like, not worth it. Like you could literally, also because a lot of times, a lot of stuff that, when you start out, and anytime, like you get this offered so many different games, and a lot of times it's not the kind of games that you would necessarily like. It's not the style of game. There's a lot of really like not so great or not well finished or not fully like play tested games out there, and it's like unless that's the thing that you really enjoy, which is that part is probably not the bit that we connect with as much. It's very draining, and so we actually had to kind of come to a point where it's like, no, actually we have to be very strict about what's the role of the channel for us and in our lives as well. And I think it's actually helpful to have two people because inevitably, like every content creator will go through some kind of burnout because it's a lot of work. And so having two of us meant that like sometimes if one of us is kind of, I'm so tired, I can't do it. The other one's like, come on, you can
come
do
on
it.
at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Have your matcha. Have your matcha and
Yeah.
let's go. Bring the energy.
Yeah. Whereas if you're like I can't even imagine if you're like a solo content creator and it's just you and you're doing everything. It's like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's also something that we get to do together. So it's something that we share together. So it's another kind of,
activity.
thing. Yeah.
Fun, worky activity.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. So I think you
Start again. Yeah.
you start now because I think it's the one I don't want to double check the rule book, but I think it's like the one who's kind of coming last that gets to do the first.
Okay.
Who do the honors so far. That may not be the case. So I just
it's okay.
it's
It's
not
fine
probably
enough.
not going to make a huge difference. Yeah.
What's the biggest misconception about designing a game and publishing it?
I think a lot of game designers they go through the route of like giving the design to a publisher who does the work and publishing, and that's quite not self-sustainable. I think that's what a lot of people have been realizing lately. Like a job as a game designer when someone else is publishing your games, it's a long shot.
Yeah.
It's like a very few people can actually survive as a game designer.
Yeah.
You have to be doing a lot of games all the time as well.
You have to do a lot of games, have to have a lot of projects, have to do a lot of commission work, stuff for like IPs or something like that. And then on the other side of that, making your own publisher is a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I was saying neither is viable. Right.
Yeah.
Inspiring words. Every designer out there.
What I'm going to say is
Get out now.
Get out while you can. Don't start a YouTube channel.
the misconception is it's easy. It's not.
Which is interesting because that's something that you notice when people get into gaming. So many people are like, we should design a game. And I think because it's like you have that experience that feels really creative. Like the experience of just learning a game, going, like seeing things coming together. You kind of feel like, this was fun. I want to do that. And it's like,
And then you hear some stories, and I think that's very interesting. Like, Old King's Crown. A lot of people go like, no, but that guy,
Yeah.
He's the artist, and then he's the game designer. He did everything by himself, and he published it, and it's a huge success. And then no one realizes that the time that it took him to become such a good artist, and then the time that it took for him going to several conventions to play test the thing.
Yeah.
There's so much,
just
much life behind it.
Yeah.
I think for me, for example, I worked most of my life as in media, but also as a team leader, organizing people. I always had people working with me, so I was really good at working with people. And it was so important for me to be able to share and ask for help and connect to people and do stuff together. And a lot of game designers don't think that's a needed skill or like something that you. I need to make good games.
Yeah.
Not as like that's not what you need. That's like 20%. Nowadays, I spend 15% of my time designing.
That's all the other admin stuff.
Admin, team management, logistics,
marketing.
marketing.
It's like saying, hey, I really enjoyed Stardew Valley. Maybe I should design a game like Stardew Valley. And it's like, do you know how long it took Concerned Ape to like get that? Yeah, he did it all himself. But again, it wasn't just like here's a quick little project that I'll, pop out over the weekend. And
This this success stories that usually I throw as the reference that people use to are the worst examples for this.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. Let me
Guess we're not
dive into the
We're not going to
dungeon.
pivot. We're not going to pivot to making
Absolutely.
Have you tried?
I did that thing initially of hearing, going, this seems fun. And then as soon as you start, you're like, there's so much to this. And it's like the amount of play testing that you kind of really should be doing for any game before. Because it's like something can work really well in your mind, like in your head. And then when you start playing, it's like, this is not fun at all. Or like, And so I don't think I have the patience to like sit through it. But
I think it's there's a lot of luck in the tables up because you're saying about play testing.
Yeah.
Play testing requires people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And finding the right people to play test is such a hard task.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want a friend who loves board game to come and play a terrible game that you're designing.
Sorry, we're playing this again.
Even with like personal friends that I play tested with, I feel like I'm burning a little of my patience towards me.
You've gone down the rankings in friendship.
So I need to be very careful about like when to invite friends to play test. So for me, like nowadays, it's only paid play testers. And that completely shifted. But I'm on the position that I can do that.
You have to be here.
And they're professionals in the sense that they know what they are going through. They come prepared for that. And your friends don't.
If you get like, because a lot of times obviously the most immediate audience that you have is like friends and family. And so if you're using friends and family as your places, one, there's this whole bias of like, well, they want you to be happy and they don't want to tell you stuff that's going to make you sad. And also they don't necessarily, like if they're not gamers, they're not necessarily going to have the same experience and be like, oh yeah, that was pretty cool or interesting, but then you put it in front of like gamers and it's like they break it in 2 seconds. So you kind of need to, that's the other thing, like having that balance of
it's really something the way if that answers your question.
We admire it.
It's not an easy task.
I'll start my gem collection again.
I think that's another hard thing that is about, with content creation is that you get the behind the scenes of how hard it is. And then you're trying to review someone's life's work and you're, and obviously as a reviewer, the duty is to the viewer. As in, we want to be honest about games, but at the same time, it's like someone worked really hard on that. And this is a really small industry, and often you will know the designer, and that's a very complex position to be. Luckily, the people, oh, look at that gold coin.
What is going on? How are you getting all the gold coins?
Luckily,
nothing.
The people we have worked with have always been very understanding about when a game is not for us, and that's great. But I think it is a challenge.
I think the more established you are, the less you understand the journey. That not all reviews are going to be positive. That not all, and they don't mean that you are the worst person in the world because you designed a bad game. But I think especially when you're a young designer, and I understand why some content creators do not want to engage with young publishers or like new because I understand that there is a connection to that release that is much stronger than when you are established company or publisher.
This
And
is
then sometimes you've got very few prototypes of your game too, so it feels really precious.
So
and
expensive.
so expensive, and you're choosing the creator that you think's going to love it, and when they don't love it, and then that would be really hard. So I think that's we try and temper. Our reviews as well, because we're only two people with very specific tastes.
Absolutely.
And it's a very big community.
I think it takes maturity to understand that the people behind the camera are also people as well. That you guys have a taste and you have a journey in your board game history. That maybe you played the exactly game that inspired you, and then you're comparing to something that someone else never played that game, and then they look, it's so original. Everything is beautiful.
But actually, what I love is some people watch our channel because they have different taste to us.
Yes.
And so when I say this is not a game for me, they're like, "Ooh, write it down. I'm going to go shopping and buy that game immediately." So sometimes it's a good thing as well.
That's so good.
And the opposite, if we're like, "Oh, this was excellent," like, "Oh, I better stay away from that."
better stay away from that.
We never agree.
Okay, I'm gonna play it to screw you guys over.
Oh, you're going out in a blaze
of glory.
So you get that, but then that gets reshuffled back in. You didn't. That monster defeated you.
Yeah.
Knocked you out into the golden grave.
Now he just wants to be Mr. Mischief.
Oh no,
What's happening here?
Well, I thought I was setting myself up. With,
I see you
bit of
guys like
protection.
very good start there.
Yeah,
And then I had a good start before.
Yeah.
Now I want to
cause chaos.
revenge. My revenge.
Oh, well, look. Ching, ching, ching.
Oh, I need to get a dragon to your hand now.
That dragon is incoming. Let's see, what can I get?
Stay away from my gold coin.
All right, I'll just get that.
Ooh, okay, you're back to 0.
Gonna put one there and one there.
Oh,
No.
which
Got a
one?
bit of control in terms of what.
Bit of control. Yeah. I'll take the top one.
You can give it to either of us. That's the other thing that's interesting, because it's like,
I'll give it to you.
there you go.
Okay, so just one little coin.
Still quite low, like point-wise. You're still like so far ahead. Yeah. Maybe so much further ahead than me. But I'm at 0. Sorry, you. This dungeon crawling business. I don't know how profitable it is.
It's not good.
Okay.
Think about what you might like.
It's interesting that the choice above and below, it matters a lot.
Yeah, it brings some variability there. Let's go. Just keep it safe. Let's keep it safe.
Which one are you gonna?
Okay, I'll put one up and one down.
I'll keep going up because
So you're
reverse engineering. You are.
And you could also then strategically, because this is going to be the
3, 6.
final round, so knowing how many points you'll have versus how many points, like, okay.
Okay.
Are you going to stay?
8 is pretty good. I'm in a pretty strong position.
Yeah.
It's like if you bust, you're only going to get 7. But if I bust,
I'm at 10. This is actually not bad at all.
I'm still going to lose, however it is. But at least I'm not going to be completely behind.
how many do you have right now?
10, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm at
So you'll
plus
be 19,
2 damage.
And I'll be 19. What happens in the draw?
I have to double check what the.
I'm just going to push it. Should I? No, Esper's going to kill
Go
me
out in a
though.
blaze of glory.
Yeah. I feel like you're just going to want to take me down.
You've got 1 damage.
Oh, okay. You convinced me.
1 little damage.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
This feels
the
too
odds?
risky for me.
Feels too risky for you.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
I think Maggie won.
You know how risk averse I am. Absolutely, I'm going to stay. I'm getting out of that dungeon with cashing that in. So technically, it would like
All right.
later.
So The choice
Well, no.
is yours.
So now I would be.
no.
Yeah. What have you done?
You convinced me. I want a divorce.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. See,
Ah,
I guess I get to
thanks.
be married another day.
I knew that was there.
One more day.
Okay, so you put the thing on the bottom that you
The
didn't
other one.
want. The other one.
Did I?
You
Maybe
still had a
everything
really
was good.
good position.
Should have been. I'm
You're
gonna.
quite literally. You're at 0. You're at 0.
Oh. But you can take it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, damn it.
That was
7,
great.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Wow.
Yeah,
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
No,
I believe in you.
Let's set the new record.
There you go. So you got another. No, let's see. You have a
28.
Here you go. I had, 15, 16, at 19. There you go. That's the game. That is.
Yes.
Adventurers just want to rest in fancy graves.
Yes.
I did rest in fancy
You
graves
did.
and I
You did.
lost it.
We
So
both
maybe
did.
that's not what I should have wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Awesome.
Thanks for that.
Okay. Last question then.
Oh.
I just started a YouTube channel, as you
Yeah.
might
Yes.
have noticed.
Yes.
Any advices?
Any advice?
Any
Any
advice?
advice for you? I
Don't
mean,
chase the numbers. It's the,
Don't chase the
yeah,
numbers.
Chase the
yeah,
numbers.
that is just
Yeah.
a recipe for headaches and
have a North Star, something that drives
Yeah.
you, and come back to that every time you're deciding between this or that, which one is closer, getting you closer to your what drives you. I think usually we say, don't go overboard with the studio.
yeah, don't overinvest in the gear and equipment in a multi-camera setup.
The studio, you can't see what's going on behind the scenes, but it is incredible.
It is
the best
fancy.
we've ever seen. It's amazing. And usually we say, if you're
YouTubers
starting-
just want to film in fancy studios.
Yeah.
This is a reference to
Oh.
this game. The fancy graves.
But usually what we say to other people getting started is just start recording, because you learn so much the more
Yeah.
videos you do. You've just gonna, you can spend too much time trying to get it perfect, trying to get your audio right, everything. If you go back to our early videos, they are horrible to the point where I want to take them down. They're so horrible.
But now they're really endearing because it's
Yeah,
like the
yeah, it's
camera's
a-
all the way up there.
we never look at it. We never
It's
look at
almost
it.
like a security camera was that high, and like we're always just looking down, and like behind us,
terrible.
the audio's terrible behind it. Like there's no table. It's literally like I literally had a crate and a frame that like a picture frame that then had the actual like a plane mat over the top, and so it's really uneven. And then like behind us, it's like it just makes no sense. There's holes and gaps everywhere. The lighting is just literally naturally. We just had an open window.
Yeah,
and
it was, and then so the sun would
so
go
it
down.
kind of goes up and down.
But it doesn't. You learn these things. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter because it's all part of the journey.
Yeah.
But I think like what you're doing, and I know that you want to really hero games from Japan and designers from Japan, and so I think it's going to be amazing. So we're just excited to watch.
Yeah.
See
I
you
mean,
grow.
seeing you guys come to Japan was an inspiration for me as well. Like seeing how people were reacting so positively to foreigners coming here. Because living as a foreigner in Japan, you're always kind of cautious.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
To not overstep.
Yeah.
To not be that, foreigner.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
be respectful.
Yeah,
and
be
understand the
respectful
culture
and be and
yeah.
But also, when you go into a hobby scene in Japan, they tend to be very precious about the lifestyle, the
Yeah.
things that they're doing. So I was always very cautious about that. And then when I saw you doing that video, and then everyone was like, "Please help us. We want to expand. We want to see more. We want to do more." It was very enduring to me. Like, oh, people want that. People
Yeah.
are up to that. People want to make these connections. So. This whole thing came also as inspiration with what you guys will do. So.
Amazing. Well, now you can act as the bridge between the two.
Yeah.
worlds.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I hope
It's going to be fantastic.
now, and the next time we're in Japan, let's play more, let's see more games,
do it.
let's understand more what's happening around here.
Yeah.
So you're always welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. It's so
Like and subscribe.
always say
That's
like-
always the
yes.
yeah.
So this is the first of this. How do you like it? Like the question is, did we make it confusing? There was so many questions, there was so many games. Let us know in the comments. How do you feel about
Did
it?
Esper play too well? To be his guest, probably.
I lost terribly in the last game, so I feel
saving
more
face.
relaxed about that. Yeah. See you on the next video on our ThinkerThemer Game Club channel. Thank you so much again.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Thanks for having us.